From what I've heard from people that I know in Austin, it is like the alternative for like you can like the Comedy Mothership is so tight knit,
Right.
And it's I also heard it's not a fun hang if you're an Austin comic.
What, the Mothership?
If you're not like in with Rogan and his crew, if you're coming up, it's not like the Cellar. The Cellar, you could sit at the bar and feel awkward.
Yeah.
I've heard the Mothership, you have to get past Navy SEALs to get into the green room.
Right.
So if you're a comic that's not in with Rogan and his crew, then it's not a fun place to be, which makes a lot of sense. It's interesting that because of this, there's another club in Austin that comics prefer because it's more friendly. I just love Bobby's initial reaction when Soder mentions this.
It's not a fun hang if you're an Austin comic.
What, the Mothership?
He even looks at Joe List as if to say, are you hearing this? Does he know he's being recorded? But it gets better as Joe List quickly but sarcastically professes his love for Rogan and his comedy club, which sets off a back and forth of Kelly and List pretending to suck up to Rogan.
I love Rogan. I love the club. I think it's perfect, and I don't know what you're talking about.
I have no idea, and every time I go there, I feel joy in my heart.
You fucking
only club that when they go, do you want to come? I go, yes, before they even say, and then I feel joy.
Yeah, and he swung me. I'm all in on Trump.
Oh my God, dude.
Smart guy, very smart.
Yeah,
Very little corruption. It's
I just
nice.
bought Max, me and Max, bow and arrows, compound bows. We started shooting. And
So you won't have your Zuckerberg moment with Rogan when he asks you what kind of bow you have?
Oh, I don't know what that means. Does he shoot a bow too? Oh, he does. Oh, it's just coincidence then. I love elk meat too. That's so cool that's coming
Dude,
in.
the thing I've brought it up before, but I bring it up every time. When Joe Rogan posts a picture of elk meat, just go see who likes it.
Really?
Because it's the most bootlicking shit in the world. You're like, you fucking pussies.
I got to say,
I love these type of clips because are we in a field as comedians to be able to say whatever it is on your mind? Like, tell your truth. And in this clip, it seems like one person is not worried about backlash and the other two are like, I want the opportunity to be coined as one of the people that are going to be on this podcast that we call the Joe Rogan Experience. Do we understand that you can't say certain things or from fear of being excluded? Like, I hear whispers all around town like, hey, you better not say it. I wouldn't say that. Just keep those comments. Don't say that. No, don't. What are you trying to get banned? Even if you talk about it, comedians will get away from you because they don't want to be affiliated with somebody that speaks like that. I don't understand why you can't have your own opinion and still be able to be a part of something just because your thought process or your views are different than another person's. Like, in the video, they're talking about another club, and of course they're talking about the Creek in the Cave versus the Mothership. And I know there's no mixture of the two. It's just one is comedy conducive for up-and-coming comedians, and the other is also, but there's a different process to get in. But when it boils down to it, it's the exact same. It's the exact same. I don't know why people think there's a difference of the two other than they are more, I will say one is more about developing comedians and giving them a space in order to, it has more of a New York feel. Like, that's literally my favorite club in town is the Creek in the Cave. Hands down, my favorite club. Do I want to be, involved in the Mothership? Absolutely. But I understand that there's a certain path to get there, right? And I have my own thoughts where, because I live in the city, I keep those thoughts to myself. You don't want to stop your growth from being too opinionated. So I can understand why Bobby was like, and I can understand why Joe List was like, I love it. It's great. It's amazing. It's the best. I can see why that happens. But are we Are we afraid to say what you really want to say? Do you really feel that way, or is it just because you're being recorded that you can't talk like that? Like, I know all three of those comics because I watch all three of them, right? And the best comic out of all of them to me is Joe List, and then it's going to be Sober, and then it's going to be Bobby, right? And I don't think I've seen any of them on Rogan. Not any of them, but I see how two of them are like, I'm not going to close my opportunities because this can get back to them. But does that allow people to be genuine? Does it allow people to be transparent? You know, when I've had issues in the corporate world because I say how I feel out loud. And I thought, oh snap, if I get into comedy, I can also say those same things and not have to deal with backlash. That's not how it goes. I thought that was one place where you can say how you feel, and if you are talented, none of those other things matter. But what I've realized here, also when I was in Florida, also when I was in Colorado, it is ran a certain way. The scenes are ran a certain way. And if you cut the hand off, or that's not even a proper analogy, but if you go against the regime, if you will, you're considered an outsider. And can you build as an outsider? Absolutely you can. But is it going to be a lot harder? Yes. If you don't kiss the ring, the opportunities for you to grow fast are cut short. And there's multiple people with the ring. There's a big ring, there's a little ring, and then there's a whole bunch of minions that have rings from the big rings. That's just how comedy is from my perspective. So shout out to Dan Sober for saying how he feels about a situation. And, the other two, by all means, if that's how they felt, that's how they felt. That's what it is. But I got into comedy thinking that you can say how you feel or speak about whatever you want to speak about and not be chastised or not be reprimanded or exiled because of your own thoughts and feelings. But as we can tell, even on the level above where I am, because on the level that I am and below, they feel the same way. We can't say nothing against the God. We can't talk about how this person is doing things that maybe we don't agree with. How dare we? We'll never get ahead unless we move somewhere else. I don't know. Tell me what y'all think. Do y'all think that it happens in every genre or every field, to where if your boss is, treating people like shit and you speak about it, that you could be fired? We know this to be true, right? But what are your thoughts about it? Do you think that you should go against the grain and speak how you want and build from your own? Or, hey, what you could do is be quiet about it till you get to a certain level, and at some point then you unleash? Because at some point you're going to speak about it, but you don't want to cut your opportunity short ahead of time. Like, I almost died. Like, comment, subscribe. Holla at you guys at the next one. I'm out.